Hello, thank you for coming, and I will attempt to share the what I know about bird photography. Your right. Uh, Actually, I did myself. Yeah, I did myself. I'm the OM system, Olympus photographer for OMD World Imaging. I own a business and I run the large format printing. That's my full-time job. Right? So being a photographer and instructor for OMD is only a part-time. And I only started birding in the year 2018 October. Out of which, year 2021, a good part of the year is actually I'm still rundown. So my actual experience in birding is not a lot. It's only about 3 years. That's my birding experience. So I will attempt to share with you the equipment that I use and how I shoot with those equipments I have. Currently, I have on display here. There's 4 cameras and with different lenses. So I will attempt to share with you how to shoot on my photos and then one setting like that I do. Okay. Now, actually, when I started birding, this is the very bird that caught me attention because I was walking in Fraser Hill with my friend. We saw 2 gentlemen. They were sitting by the road. I asked them, "What are you doing?" He said, "Bird." I said, he said, "Sit next to us." Like that. So I sent to him, and then the time I was using the Olympus Yemen Mark II with the Panasonic Leica. Unfortunately, I already saw the Leica, but it's a similar setup with this camera. This is the Yemen Mark III with a 100, 400 with the Olympus lens, but a similar setup. The only difference is the f-stop. For the Panasonic Leica, it's actually f4 to 6.3. This one is f5 to 6.3. That's the only difference. But with this lens, you can use the multiplier 1.4 and also 2.0. But the Panasonic, you cannot. So when I came back from the trip, I looked at my photo and I saw, hey, the bird is very nice. Unfortunately, the resolution here, you can't see the resolutions as good as you see on the desktop. So I said, well, the bird's very nice, the details there. And I do not know how to ID the bird. So when I ID the bird, we just call it by brown color. When you see bird, you see blue color bird, so that's how I know how to ID. And this is the peacock in Kingi. The ISO here is ISO 3200. Shutter speed is 1/60, and the f-stop is 6.3. Means it's the longest focal length, 6.3, and it's minus 1 EV. Because basically why I need to shoot at ISO 3200 is because the place is quite dark. When in the morning, because you have to be there to shoot this bird, you have to be there by 7 a.m. or 7:15 a.m. The reason being because this bird, the people feed the bird. The bird will come to the place where the feeding is by 7:30. If there's no feed, means the corns, no feed in the corns, the bird will go to the jungle to look for their own food. So then they won't come out. So it's quite early in the morning, right? So that's why it's shutter speed at 3,200. That's why ISO 3,200 and the shutter speed is only 1060. But you can still get the bird. It's pretty good. This is another bird that we got it at Bukit Tinggi. It's called the Siberian Blue Robin. Also, shutter speed is 1080, ISO 3200. The f-stop is 6.2, is the longest because we are the shooting at the longest focal length, and -1 EV. This is the Kingfisher we shot in Chungkap, Ulu Langat there. For most of my shooting, basically I set at ISO 1600. That's always my base ISO. I always set at 1600 because I find that is the most clean ISO that I can use for the camera that I'm using. So it was 1600. Shutter speed 1/30. Again, it's the longest focal length, f6.3, and it's EV is minus 0.3. A lot of time people say the micro four third, you cannot have a good defocus background or bokeh. For me, I think they are still quite good. I'm quite happy with the bokeh. Even though this is not a full Olympus lens, it's only a Panasonic Leica lens. Next one, okay, this one I'm shooting with the EM1X, and the lens is the M-Zuiko 40-150. It's a very short lens. Now someone asked me, now, can you shoot with a short lens? Yes, you can, depending on location and depending on the bird. You cannot shoot with this lens all the time. But if the bird is big and it's near, yeah, you definitely can shoot with this lens. And this is the this is the lens, f2.8 with the EM1X, right? You can still shoot, but because I say you must know your subject, you must know the location. That doesn't apply to all, right? Yep. Yes, bigger than a chicken. Bigger than a chicken, yeah. This is a female. The previous photo that I showed to you, that was a male. This is female. The spur is slightly smaller, and then there's no coloration on the tail, right? Okay, this is a bar-bellied pitta. That was shot in Cambodia. My friend just came back from Cambodia. he heard the call, but they couldn't see the bird. And the funny thing was when we were waiting for this bird, the guide told us this bird only come out early in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. So we left our lodging, our accommodations at 5 a.m. So we waited there. True enough, at 6 a.m., the bird came. And it was so dark, you just can't shoot. Just can't shoot. It was just impossible. Right? Because the 6 a.m. in Cambodia, actually here is like, I think about 5 a.m. Yeah, so it's one hour. So you can imagine the darkness is really, really dark. But then the funny thing was, this bird, it came at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., until 12 p.m. until we got like, please go away, don't want to see you anymore. Because it was so long, it was disturbing other birds. Okay, this is a video I shot with the 40-150. You can see the ibis for this one. It's shot hand out. All my photos are shot hand out. There's no tripod assist. Even the lens itself, 40-150, there is no IS on the lens, but the body is very, very stable. It has 5 stops. and it enables you to shoot at a very steady stream. I can't remember. This is video, so I can't remember. So sorry. Unfortunately, the video is a bit shaky because I think my laptop cannot process it very well. My desktop is okay, it's very smooth. It's a very cute bird. You love it, but it's a nuisance if I stay too long. Sorry? This is a small bird. This is a small bird. I think slightly bigger than this. Oh. Slightly bigger than this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, next. This bird is called a snowy brown flycatcher, and I showed it with the M-Zico 300 with the Yemen X. Yeah, this is the lens. It's f4 prime, prime 300 f4. It's going to the full frame equivalent to 600 mm, right? So, but you're still getting the f-stop at the 4, but your depth of field you're getting at f8. So your photos are actually sharper than when you compare to the full frame at the same focal length, right? And now when I first started birding, I do not know how to ID the bird. So after I shot and I go back home, you know how I record the bird, blue bird with a white brow, brown bird, then the yellow bird with a black head. That's how I did the bird. Can you imagine if I met another Chinese birder, and you come to me, what bird are you shooting? You know, in Chinese or in I said bluebird. It'd be very awful, right? Because I don't know how to ID the bird, I don't know how to call it. So I call it a bluebird. Yeah. So and again here is my basic ISO. So it's 1600. This is how I always shoot. Shutter speed is 10125, and it's an f8 minus 0.7 the EV compensation, and this is I attach the multiplier 1.4 multiplier. That means I'm shooting at 420 for micro four third, equivalent to full frame 840. Right. So this is the multiplier I'm using. This bird was shot in Kelotong, Ipoh. It's a red biscuit bubu. Again, as I say, my basic ISO is the same, 600. Shutter speed is much higher because there's still some light. But actually, the condition that I shot this bird is actually very dark. It was going to rain. It was, I think, about 5:30 in the evening. I was coming back from Penang. Then I wanted to look for this bird. Then we dropped into to Kelotong. Initially, we couldn't find. I think we reached there about 3 p.m. Until 4 p.m. still cannot find. Then the siren sound because they're going to close the temple. Then as we were walking out, immediately we saw something flew in, and then there was this bird that flew in. So I took a quick shot of it. And this bird is actually, this photo is featured in National Geographic in the top 25 bird in the blog. So for Olympus, the advantage is that because I don't shoot with tripod, handheld, the moment you see a bird flew in, you can able to point, focus, lock it, and you shoot. That's the advantage of Olympus. This is another bird. It's a gray-breasted spider hunter. Same ISO 1600. Shutter speed 1/20. f8. EV is plus 0.3. And you see here is MC20. I'm shooting with the 2 times multiplier. That means I'm talking about the 600 mm f4 f8 for micro four third. In full frame, we are talking about 1,200 mm. I got this bird when because we are waiting for another bird, another star bird. We're waiting for the Rufus picolet. Rufus picolet is the world's smallest woodpecker outside of Americas. But suddenly I saw at the corner of my eye, something flew in, and there was this bird, going for the flower. And I swing my camera around, and I got a shot. This also is featured in National Geographic, in the top 25 bird. Right. Now this is the reverse-back kingfisher. Now for this one, I pump up the ISO 2200. You can see the shutter speed is actually very high. 5.6 EV minus 3, and I'm shooting with the multiplier 1.4. The reason because I want to shoot a low, we call it low level shooting, low level. Is it low level shooting? I think it's low level shooting. Huh? Low key. Low key. I want to shoot a low key, and it's actually almost like this. I just darken a bit more than the background. So in the photography, you can have artistic approach. Know in your mind what you want to achieve, then you do your setting accordingly. Of course, you have to have the opportunity to shoot. If the birds flew away, then you're meddling around, you can't do it. So you must know your camera and setting pretty well to be able to shoot the kind of photo that you want. Right? This is the white rum shama, and I shot this in Bukit Tinggi. As I say, Bukit Tinggi is quite dark. ISO 3200, shutter speed is 1/80. It's an f4. That means and the maximum 300, and then the minus 0.7. This is one of my favorite photos because it's from my early days, very early part of my birding experience. This is the blue-eared kingfisher found in the famous, I call it longkang in Malawati, right? You go to Malawati, you got the longkang, the big longkang, you can see it. And this is at ISO 800, shutter speed 1/200, f-stop 7.1, and then the EV is plus 0.3, and shooting with a teleconverter 1.4, right? So you can, a lot of the time people say, hey, you add in the multiplier, the photo will be soft. It's not nice, but it's not true. The reason is being, you can get the bird closer to you. When you get the bird closer to you, although it's a little bit soft, just with the software a little bit sharpening, then your photo is excellent already. It's going to be beautiful. This photo was entered into the 35 awards for Photography International Award, entered into second stage. Right. Okay, this is the black hornbill. I shot this in Sabah, and I'm using the YLPF with the 100-400, right? Because this is not the camera. This should be this one. I was showing you this one attached because earlier on I was shooting with YLPF Mark II, right? And a lot of times I got people who tell me, Michael Four Third cannot shoot black. Said the black is like one color. But it's not true, because here you can actually see the full details of the black. And this bird, actually, we are shooting right at the back of the bird, a bit distant away, is the sun. We are shooting right into the sun, right? So that's why I have the lower down my ISO to 64. My shutter speed is very high because it's right in the sun, even though I have a low ISO, f6.3, and have to plus EV because it casts a shadow to the front. When you shoot, you have to watch your histogram. Make sure the histogram on the right and the left do not clip. That is the key to shoot, especially dark area. You want the blackbird, make sure the histogram on the left side is not clipped. Make sure you protect the left side. If it's a white, make sure you protect the right side. Okay, this is a histogram. You have to watch in your camera to check. Okay, this is the red-eye bubu. Is a subadult. We was flying around. Then we saw this bird. Was walking in. This was in Taman Botani, Shah Alam. ISO 800, shutter speed 150. f7.1, EV 0, right? This is subadult. So people say the 100, the photo is not sharp. No, it's not true. Depending on how you use it, and the condition you use it. You must choose the condition, choose the subject, to be able to get a good clean photo. Right? And I waited for a moment because I saw the bird was flying around. And then it was actually hiding behind this branch. You cannot see the face. So I waited. You see, a lot of time when you shoot the bird, you have to time your moment. You have to time your shot. It's not that you some of them kanchiong, excited. They just click. When you click, most of the time you don't get the shot that you want, or the shot is not clear. So you have to time. What I do when I time the shot is I keep tapping my focus, right? Tap focus so that I lock the focus on the bird. So the moment the bird comes out, I tap lock on the eye, then I shoot. Now with the previous system here, how I shoot with the single focus, single auto point focus, and I always tap. I always wait for the moment, so that you catch the bird. Right. Now this is the originated thrush. I shot this in Taiping with the latest lens, the M-Zuiko 150-400, right? With the built-in teleporter. This is the camera and the lens, all right? This is not 1XR, this is 0.1. Because I attaching it with the some bit on, I'm going to show with the 0.1. This is the 0.1, but this is the lens I shot this with. But that time, 0.1 don't have, I was shooting with the EM1X. Those who shoot in Taiping will know, it's quite dark there. ISO 1250, shutter speed is only 1/30, f-stop 6.3, I have to minus 1.7, right? And then, because I think there was certain light that's very bright, and attached with the multiplier 1.4, right? So as I say, even though at very low shutter speed, you can still get pretty good photos because you time your shot, you wait for the moment, you wait for the bird, because the bird will normally pause for maybe 1 second. You only need is half a second to get a shot, even at the low shutter speed. Just half a second will do. This is the reverse brown fracture in Fraser Hill. Very dark. I shot this bird at the Rusty Neck Pita Hawk. And it's very dark. I think and those who shot it, it's very dark. ISO 3200, shutter speed 1/30, f-stop 6.3, and EV minus 0.7. Again, time the shot, wait for the moment. The bird will pause, the bird will wait, right? So you just wait for the moment and you take the shot. This bird is the bar-bellied hawk owl, right? Hawk owl, right? So this was shot in a housing estate in Shah Alam, near to the golf course. It's a private residence. Okay, ISO 6400, shutter speed 1/20, f8, 0, and then multiplier 1.4. Now, for this, you see all the lip here on this side. At the moment we shot this bird, it's actually quite windy. So when I got quite a number of shots, the leaf is covering the eye, covering the face here and there. So as I say again, with time, we wait. So I still got quite a lot more shots with the open like that, because we waited. You don't rush and shoot. Wait for the moment, time it, and shoot. Then you get your shot. This is the lineated barbet. We shot this in Taman Limba Kiara, Taman Tun. Right? Now again, this time I pump up my ISO 3200, shutter speed 1/800. You know, so what you see, my shutter speed is very low, 1/30, 1/20, 150, 160. Seldom go above 100. But this one was 1/800, f8, EV minus 0.3 with the telecounter, because they was doing a feeding. So I need the shutter speed to catch the moment. So that's why I bump up the ISO. Even with the ISO 3200, it's very, very, very clean. The photo is still very clean. That's a lot of people complain Micro Four Thirds cannot handle low ISO. It's not true, right? It's how you handle the photo, how you handle the shoot. As I said again, watch your histogram on the left and on the right. Try not to clip, but if you clip just very slightly. Okay, you still get clean, very clean photo. This is a red-headed trogon in Fraser Hill. ISO 1000, shutter speed 1015, f-stop 7.1, EV 0.3, minus 0.3. As I said, low shutter speed, you can still get a very good photo. All right, even at 1015. This is the Garnet Pita in Marapo. I went with my friend Long here. We another two more. One is my wife and another friend. And this bird, we heard the call, right? But the bird guy said, okay, now you can have lunch. Because initially we didn't dare to have our lunch because we heard the call. We were afraid that the bird would come. He said, first call you hear, 2 hours later you see the bird. So true enough, we had our lunch and waited about 2 hours. About almost 2 hours, the bird came, right? So it's experience of the bird guide. ISO 1600, shutter speed 1/6, right? 5.6 f-stop minus 0.3. Now you're thinking, how is it possible? 1.6. Pita, they always bump, but there are moments where they will stop. They will go. So always wait. I said, wait for the moment, time the shot. The moment it stop, you all you need is half a second to take the shot. You're able to get it, right? This is Pacific Reef Heron that I shot in Penang. It's actually very, very bright sunlight. You can see on the top here, all the sun is actually, I shot it at 12 noon, midday. ISO 200, shutter speed 1/320, f9. EV is -1 already, and it's on MC20. It's a 2-time multiplier, right? So you have to when I show it, it's very bright. In fact, the photo is still quite bright. Because I saw the rim shot of the bird, the highlight on the rim. So I edited the shadow. I pulled down all the shadow, all the way I pull it down. And then I increased the highlight to highlight the rim. Then you get a very nice silhouette rim shot of the bird. But this bird, this fish here is still very clear, and it's very, very sharp. Unfortunately, as I said, the resolution on the screen doesn't do justice to the photo. Right? And you have a 4K projector, then yeah, it'll be very nice. Okay, this is the OM1. This is the camera OM1 with the 150-400, which I recently got the camera not too long ago. I think we got it in June. Yeah, I got it in June, I think, and immediately, I think a week or so later, I went to Sabah, and this was my testing ground, first time using the camera in Sabah. I was very, very afraid that I couldn't get my shot because first time using the camera on a trip. But this is a storm stop, and this is I think it's a critically endangered species. Yes, I think the whole world, if I remember correctly, whole world only left about 500 species bird around. Shutter speed is very high, but it's very bright sunlight. ISO 400, shutter speed 1/1600, 5.6 EV0. So even though I was shooting it almost like the first time or second time with the camera, because I'm so used to the OM camera system, it's quite easy to adapt. And in fact, when I was there, I was experimenting with a lot of shooting style. Normally, I will shoot with single autofocus, single shot. But with the OM1, I changed my shooting to burst mode. I shoot on low burst, and I shoot on continuous autofocus. Normally, I don't shoot on continuous focus. I don't shoot on single autofocus and single shot. This is what hornbill really? What hornbill is that? Yep, can you help? Let me see. Oh my head. Can't remember what was the name of hornbill. This is bushy crescent hornbill, right? This bird, they come in a flock. They come in a flock, and then when they play call, they would just they will come. But when I was there, it was so difficult to get a shot of them because from nowhere they were just woo, they were woo. You know, you just didn't have time to really catch. But there's one moment that there's one bird was just staying there. While there's a flying, the one bird was there. So the oilman was able to we point, lock it, and then we shoot the bird. ISO 400, shutter speed 1/400, f/6, EV 1.7. This bird is very noisy. You can hear it from far, so that you can't miss it, but you know they're around. This is the wreath hornbill, ISO 800, shutter speed 1/5000, f/6, EV 0. Now, the reason why I could shoot a much lower ISO, and I don't need such a high shutter speed. The reason why I want the high shutter speed is because this bird was doing something very unusual, where even my bird guide said he have not seen before. It was like that. All of a sudden he was just like that. Then he was like that. All of a sudden he was just like that. So the moment for the bird doing like that is very fast, very quick. So I had to increase my shutter speed. So that's why I bumped me up to ISO. I could actually in 200, ISO 200 or ISO 100. You still get very, very good speed, but then I don't want to take a chance. Because he said, he has been shooting this bird guide for a long, long time. But I have never seen why he does this. We don't understand why he does it. He keeps looking up to the sky, come down, go outside, come down. It was like, you're impromptu. He will wait for quite a long while, maybe half an hour, then boop, he will go up again. We just don't know what he was doing. There's no female around. This is a male. There's no female around. Okay, this is the blue-banded pitta. We shot this in Tabin, inside the forest. It took us 5 hours to get a bird. In Tabin, there's no feeding. And then also minimal call. So when we were walking along the forest track, suddenly we heard the bird call, right? So we were excited, so we waited. The bird kept calling, we waited. We waited for close to 2 hours. The bird didn't come out. So what we did, we trekked into the jungle, right? And the first level, we waited there again. There were 5 of us who trekked up. Waited 1 hour, no. Can hear the call, but no. Waited another hour, no. Then out of the 5, 3 of them decided to give up. It was only about almost 4 hours already. But we saw the bird flew past, but we couldn't get a shot. Then the bird guide asked me, hey, you still want to try or not? It was only 4 hours already, we cannot get the bird. Then I said, already here already, what can we do? Might as well wait up. Then another guy said, okay, I wait with you together. So we waited. Then heard the call again. This time the guy said, okay, let's trek right up to the hill because we are at the mid level, and it's very muddy because of the rain. So we trek up, heard the call, keep following the call, and we trek, and we cannot go direct because it's a very steep slope. We go around, we go right to the top. Can hear, cannot see. Then the bird guy said, you wait here. He will go down and look for the bird. So after about 10 minutes, I think, when he go down, then he signaled us, he found the bird already, asked us to come down. So we went down, and then got no angle, cannot see the bird because it's a very small, hiding in a very small window. So this laser pointer point up, we had to go up again. So we tracked up all the way up again. True enough, then we saw the bird in a very small window. After 5 hours, we finally get to see the bird and we get a shoot. ISO 6400, shutter speed 1/100. I didn't want to take a chance because after so long, I better had a better speed because this bird was keep moving about. So I went a better speed, 5.6, EV 0.7, plus 0.7. So after 5 hours, we managed to get the bird. This is another angle. Same, ISO 6400, 160, 5.6. And you notice, even at 6,400, the OM1 control the noise very, very, very well. It's very clean. You can see, if you see on a desktop, you'll be amazed. This photo is very, very clean, even ISO 6400. This is a changeable hawk eagle. They were not sure whether it's a juvenile or the white moth, but the quite certain is a changeable hawk eagle. We shot this at about 5:30 in the evening. In Tamping, you either shoot it early in the morning, or we take a break, then we start again, resume again about 4 in the afternoon. So there will be morning walk and evening walk. And we walk until the night, where we do the next safari. ISO 400, shutter speed 10160, 5.6, EV -1. Because it's white feathers, right? White feathers, you want to control your lighting. You want to bring it down so that you don't blow the white. So you can see the white feather. Now, besides shooting birds, if opportunity, I also shoot wildlife. This is the pigtail macaque. Just now, someone was showing me the photo of the macaque, right? This is macaque. Yeah, this is in Sabah. This is full frame shot without cropping from the 150 400. ISO 400, shutter speed 125, 5.6, minus 0.7. I have a lot of shot of crocodile. In Sabah, they have the big five you need to see: crocodile, orangutan, pygmy elephant, proboscis monkey, and the hornbills. These are the big five you must see, and I saw all the big five in my trip. I did have the photo for you to see the pygmy elephant because it was too close. My lens was too long. I couldn't shoot. If I shoot the photo, you probably see the eye only. You can see the eye only. It was too long. Now I'm going to talk a little bit on the OM1 key features. Excuse me. Now, OM1 key features, they have a new sensor. Basically, it's still a 20 megapixel, but it's a cross-quad pixel AF stack back-sided illuminated CMOS sensor. That means the lighting on the sensor is from the back, not from the front. Yeah? Because of that, it allows you to have a 2-stop better noise performance and 1-stop improved dynamic range. Now, when they say 2-stop, normally the Japanese are very conservative. They will tell you 2-stop, but I believe it's much more than 2-stop, and it's much more than 1-stop of improved dynamic range. This is the hooded pita. It's a Bornean version. Malaysian version here, over here, the head is brown. This one is black. ISO 32,000. Shutter speed 1/13. F-stop 4.5 and plus 0.3. Now, this bird was shot at 6 a.m. in the morning, and it's not by the roadside. It's in the jungle. So 6 a.m. is already dark. Can we just 6 a.m. in the jungle? You know how dark is it? We were sitting inside the hide. The mosquito and keeps going around. It's okay for me here to our friends at that side, to the back there. We can barely see the movement, but we can hear the call. We know it's the hooded pita. So I took out my camera to shoot. Able to locate the bird with the AI, and I was surprised when I took a shot. I thought, okay, it's so dark, you probably can't see anything. when I came back and processed, yeah, there was noise, but it's still very, very, very clean. With a bit of denoising and a bit of sharpening, you can see even back the details. For ISO 32,000 photo, it's very, very good. So now I'm very confident if I'm going to Sabah again, and I'm going actually in October. If I see a lifer means the first time you see the bird. It is a very dark condition. I know I can get a good record shot of the bird. I'm quite confident now. Because that time, first time shooting at 30,000, I've never shot at this ISO before. I was shocked when I saw the photo on my desktop and I processed the raw. I was really shocked. This is the chestnut nape forktail. Recently in Singapore, everybody was flocking to shoot this bird. ISO again, 12,800. Shutter speed is 1/100. I need some amount of speed because there was action. F4.5 and EV minus 0.7. I shot this bird that time. It was I think 5 o'clock in the evening, and you know, those who have shot this bird at the place in Singapore, is actually very, very, very dark. That's why you need ISO 12,800. And when I processed my photo again, I was shocked. It's very, very clean, and the detail is very good. And I posted into my WhatsApp group for my budding friends. About 15 minutes or 20 minutes later, one guy called me, Richard, I want to throw away my camera already. I said, why? Your forktail, so clean, so sharp. And he went at the ISO. He said, I want to throw away my camera already. He said, can I run the unit not to test? They can, I will try to arrange for you. Another guy texted me after seeing the photo, because they say even their system, they couldn't get it. That they were shooting same day with me. All their photo was blurred, but my photo was okay. I have quite a number of good, very, very good photos. I wish I have not processed. This is one photo that I chose to process. So for the OM1, when they say 2-stop better noise handling, it's much more than two stop. It's actually very much more than 2 stop. Right? 1 stop dynamic range, I think it's much more than 1 stop dynamic range. This is the Bornean gibbon that I shot in Tabi. You can see it's almost dark. Black. This is straight out of camera, without editing, right? Because the sunlight is at the back, so it's actually backlighted a photo. But surprisingly, even at the screen that we see, even at backlighted, the sky is still pretty good, So you will think that probably you cannot recover because it's so black, so dark. You will surprise at the dynamic range. You can even see the eye. Detail is all there. The dynamic range is very, very good for OM1. ISO 400, shutter speed 10640, f5 is 5 and 6, and EV 0. So dynamic range for OM1, they claim to be 1 stop, but I think it's much more than that. Because even in my hooded pita, the photo is quite dark when we recover almost everything, every details. Now, for the OM1, they have got a new processor. It's a TruePic X processor. 1 processor, right? And it's 4 times faster than YM1X. Right? You want to have 2 processor. I think it's the TruePic 29. It's TruePic X processor. It's 4 times faster. With this speed of the processor, there are things that they can do. This is Blue Matter Pita. This is the 50 megapixel picture on a high-res mode. ISO 2500. The reason why I want to put the so much high ISO, because I need a faster shutter speed. Because I'm shooting at the high-res mode. The computer needs some time to process, right? But previously, with the YM1X, YM1 Mark III, and even I think YM5 Mark III, they have a high-res mode. But the one they need, YM5 they need tripod. One Mark III, you can use handheld. This is handheld, right? They will need 20 seconds to process the photo. But with the OM1, you only need 5 seconds to process. When you click, 5 seconds, it's done. Then you can shoot another time. Last time you had to wait for 20 seconds before you can shoot another time, right? This is a 50 megapixel picture. That was the male, this is the female. Same ISO, 2500, shutter speed 1/160, f4.5, EV 0.3. Again, you can get the megapixel, but you just have to wait for half a second. All right, you can still get the megapixel. Now, the OM1 autofocusing and the AI detection has very much improved. The new sensor, together with the processor, translate into much improved autofocusing with a quad cross autofocus pixel. Now they have a full coverage for your sensor. We're having now 1,053 points, which cover the full sensor, versus the YLPF Mark III and Olympus YLPF, which only have 121 points, which is concentrated more on the center. So you're shooting with the YLPF Mark III or YLPF, if you have difficulty in focusing at the corner, try to push it more to the center, focus, lock it, then recompose. That will happen because it's more on the center. Whereas OM1 is actually the whole sensor, the whole frame is on the focusing point. Right? It's 10 times the focusing point. Okay, finishing it. Okay, so we are tracking this bird with the AI. This is the crystal fireback. It was walking among the leaves, but OM1 was able to track the bird already, right? So I waited for the moment it comes a bit more to the clear, it open, I take a shot, right? Because OM1 able to track it, even it was walking among the leaves. All right, I'm not going to go to because we're running out of time. The shutter speed, I don't want to go. Here you see the birds in the corner. I was shooting the bird, other birds, but this bird flew into the frame. At the corner, OM1 able to lock on, and I took the shot. Right? So as long as you in the frame, you're able to lock on the focus. All right. Okay. If in the center also you can lock, no matter where, because I set my focus point to the whole frame. So as long as in the frame, OM1 will lock the focus and you can take the shot. This was shot early in the morning, I think about 6:30 or 7 a.m. So it's a golden hour. This is the bushy crested hornbill. Normally, those who know me, I don't shoot bird in flight. But with this OM1, the opportunity comes very often for me to shoot. Yeah, there's a lot of chance when you get a lot of keepers. And this is the, I can't remember what I think it's white-bellied sea eagle. Okay, I was shooting the hornbill. We heard some rustling of the leaf. Then I turned on the side. We saw that some of the monkey was jumping. This was about the last one. I point my camera, turn around. Even though I was on the bird tracking, it actually tracked the monkey. With the white box, the frame is all right, and then you track again. I took a shot. So you can still, even the bird AI, you can still shoot the monkey. I don't know how you track it, but you just track it. The next one, I'm going to show you the video. It's actually not a video, it's actually 40 photos that I shot. Continuous autofocus, locking on the bird. The bird was flying away from me, and you're on the spinning bird, chasing the bird. And this video will show you how the woman is able to lock the focus and chase the bird, even on a spinning board, choppy, and how good is the tracking. So you notice the bird is flying away. Normally, if you horizontal, yeah, it's quite easy to try. But the bird is flying away, or bird flying towards you, it's very difficult. But OM1 is able to do that. And on top of that, we're talking about on a speeding boat, chasing the bird on a speeding boat. Yeah, it's still locked. It's amazing. It's a bit dark because we're shooting into the sun. It's backlighted. And then with the OM1, they have added high sequential shooting. High sequential shooting. They call it SH1 and SH2. Now in the SH2, you can shoot up to 50 frames per second in continuous autofocus tracking. It means you're able to focus track the bird as well as exposure track as well. But in SH1, they can shoot up to 120 frames per second, but it's only in single autofocus. That will be very difficult to shoot if the bird is flying. If the bird on perch, it shouldn't be a problem. And we're talking about blackout free. It means that there's no blackout, right? And we can shoot it in 200 pixel in JPEG and in RAW, not just JPEG alone, all right? There's no reduction in the resolution. Now, of course, the OM1 has improved on the weather shield rating. It is now on IP53 versus IPX1 for YLPF Mark III and YLPF1X, right? The rating has improved. Previously for YLPF1X, YLPF Mark III, we're talking about dripping water. This is improved to spraying water. Water spraying is still weather shield. You see, that's how they do a test on a camera. They spray water onto the camera. Okay, this is the blue-banded pitta. Blue-banded kingfisher, and see the water droplets here. Yeah, on the bird. I was shooting this bird in the rain. Unfortunately, we cannot see the raindrops here. There were some raindrops here, right? When I was shooting this bird, other birders were packing up because it's raining. They were afraid to get their gear wet. For OM1, weather sealing is IP53, very good weather sealing. So I wasn't afraid, and I couldn't shoot. But when I came back, because the water was quite heavy, it hit the ground and all the sand bounced up. My camera all filled with sand. So I took my home, I used water spray. No issue. Today I'm still using it, okay? It's still in perfect condition. Now with the OM1, now I have more opportunity for bird in flight, which I normally don't do. Now I have more opportunity. And easier for me to frame the shot because they're able to lock onto the bird very fast. So all I need to do is to do framing, to frame the shot. And then now I have more keepers. Previously, my keepers are lesser. Now I have more. And of course, it created a problem. Like my friend says, choosing the sharp photo, good photo, is a headache now. There's too many good photos to choose for. All right, thank you very much. That's all I have for you. Hope you enjoy the sharing. Unfortunately, I did not prepare here. But just now we have some like the bushy crested, the monkey, and then I only prepared the pair. But I have a lot. So sorry. Okay.
Sorry, just now I walk out for a moment.
Sure.
Can you show me your birds in flight one?
Sure. This is monkey jumping.
Okay.
This bird in flight.
Oh.
Okay, wait.
One is to one now, to be fair.
Okay, just one.
Ah,
Let me get out here.
yeah, I had a lot of frustration with the prognosis. Wait.
Purposes,
Don't jump. Yeah, don't want to jump. Then I turned to another monkey, then bloody fella jumps. So I never caught any in flight.
Okay. Okay, photo for sharing. Yam 500. Hey, thank you very much for. Okay. Okay, this is pushing
This is
question.
not in flight.
Yeah.
I believe you that it's fully capable.
Sorry.
It's not in flight. But I just want to see what it's like in flight.
In flight one will be features, high ISO tracking. Yeah.
Never in flight.
Yeah. Yeah, that one is the video. Just now, we I think, do you see the video?
Not in flight. Sorry, like I said, I had to walk out.
Okay. It's not here. Where is it? Low light, AI tracking, high resolution. Oh, you see my presentation. I didn't have the photo here.
Oh,
So wait. Okay.
it's all right. No worries. Not until my wife calls. She's supposed to come and pick me up.
Okay. Bird in flight. But unfortunately, our presentation, I cannot zoom in.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Can I zoom in from here?
Okay. It's okay. So, this is not 1:1, right?
Come again.
Like 1:1. I like to see the quality. I like to see at 1:1. Obviously, if it's more than 1:1, it's not fair.
Yeah, one is this is almost 1:1.
This is almost.
Most of the one. Unfortunately, I cannot zoom in. I don't know why.
It's all right. If it's PowerPoint, you can't zoom in.
Yeah. Oh, this. How do I open this? Because this one I just
Because the
but
what's attractive about this is the double two times
yeah,
two,
yeah,
right?
yeah, correct. Yeah, I can't.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you.
So sorry.
It's all right. No worries. So this OM1 is not the same as the OM1 from 5-6 years ago.
No. This is a totally brand new OM1.
But they call it the same model, just to
Yes,
confuse.
because not confused, but to commemorate the founder.
Oh.
Because the OM1 have been sold. So now it's sold to JIP, Japan's
Yep.
national partners. And because they want to commemorate the founders, they call it OM1. OM1 actually stands for Olympus Maitani. Maitani was a founder, the one who created Micro Four Thirds.
Oh, okay.
So they want to remember him.
Okay.
So that's why they name it OM1.
Okay, but it confuse people like me.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome.
Very good.
Hi.
Sorry, a bit late.
Right, no worries. Hope you all
Good.
got what I shared.
Yeah.
You enjoyed the sharing. Yeah. So progress I mean, for different lens, different camera, different system, is a progression. I still keep them. That's my wife also should. Yeah. So she shoot with this lens, with this body. Oh, I shoot with this one now, and this one as a backup, just in case something wrong. You never know, right? Never know. Yeah.
I just walk around and have a look.
Sure.
Okay.
Richard,
Yeah.
good to see all your short stuff.
Unfortunately, projector.
It's different quality. The
Yeah,
screen
different.
and everything,
Yeah, because here
pixels and everything.
on the 4K, 4K is very nice,
Much more better.
very sharp.
4K monitor, then here it's okay lah.
Yeah, if they have a 4K projector, yes. Unfortunately, they don't have
Maybe this set lah.
a 4K projector, yes. Then unfortunately, they don't have a 4K projector. Because
Upgrade lah.
This is belong to the shop.
So that's why. Yeah, I was a bit confused. Like the old model is OMD.
Yeah,
This is the new one, OM1.
OM1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't have a D anymore. Lah.
Yes, because they sold already. They sold to JP. They still maintain Olympus. This
Same, the body looks the same.
same,
All the control, right?
yeah, the same. They still maintain here, because as I say, they want to remember the founder. Yeah,
The one who invented the
yeah,
microportal. Lah.
yeah. So, but this will be the last one. After this, there will be no more Olympus already. Because
okay.
you'll be
New company one?
the company OM system.
Oh, okay.
OM
Okay.
system,
Okay.
yeah, system. Yeah.
This is like a special edition. Lah.
Yeah, special edition. Special edition.
But when they do have a lot of features. Lah.
Yeah, a lot of new features. Yeah, because of the processor is different. A lot of new features, which previously not possible because of processor. Now they a lot of new features. Yeah, that's why I have to pack up. Four cameras, four lens, one back finish. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I was getting my power bank just in case my battery run out, so I can charge the laptop. Yeah, get it standby.
Where? Top heading.
Oh yeah, there's a mic here.
Oh, no.